Speak English without boring grammar rules.
Welcome to Speak English with Abdulhak. Today, we're diving into one of the most common frustrations for English learners: grammar. Yes, you heard me right. Grammar can be boring, confusing, and honestly, unnecessary when it comes to speaking English fluently. So, if you've been feeling stuck memorizing grammar rules and wondering, do I really need this to speak English well? This episode is for you. Let me start with a question. Do you think babies study grammar before they start speaking? Of course not. They learn by listening, imitating, and practicing. And that's exactly what you can do as an English learner. You don't need to be perfect at grammar to have conversations. What you need is confidence and exposure to real English. Here's a simple truth: communication is about making yourself understood. No one will care if you say, "She don't like apples" instead of "She doesn't like apples," as long as your message is clear. So, stop stressing about every little mistake. Focus on talking instead. Now, here are 3 powerful tips to help you speak English fluently without relying on boring grammar rules. 1. Immerse yourself in English. Listen to podcasts, watch movies, or even follow English-speaking influencers on social media. Pay attention to how native speakers form sentences. You'll pick up the patterns naturally, just like a child learning their first language. 2. Practice speaking daily. Find a language partner, join a conversation club, or even talk to yourself in the mirror. Don't worry about mistakes, they're part of the process. Fluency comes with repetition and courage, not perfection. 3. Use short, simple sentences. If you're unsure about grammar, keep your sentences short and clear. For example, instead of saying, "If I had gone to the park yesterday, I would have seen my friend," just say, "I didn't go to the park. I didn't see my friend." Easy, right? So, what's the takeaway from today's episode? Grammar can be useful, but it's not your priority when speaking English. Fluency, confidence, and connection are what really matter. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. Every mistake is a step toward improvement. Let me ask you something. Have you ever met someone who speaks English perfectly but seems afraid to have a conversation? Or maybe this sounds like you. You're nervous about saying something wrong, so you stay quiet instead of speaking. Here's the truth: grammar rules can sometimes feel like chains. They hold you back from expressing yourself because you're so worried about getting everything correct. But language is about connection, not perfection. Native speakers make grammar mistakes all the time, but that doesn't stop them from communicating. So, why should it stop you? Think about how children learn to speak. They don't sit down with grammar textbooks or worry about the difference between "I'm eating" and "I eat." They listen, they imitate, and they speak. And guess what? They make lots of mistakes, but they're never afraid to try. As adults, we can learn a lot from this natural approach. Why grammar isn't essential for speaking. Now, don't get me wrong. Grammar has its place. If you're writing a professional email or studying for an English exam, you'll need to know some rules. But when it comes to speaking, grammar doesn't need to be your focus. Why? Because fluency is about 3 things: confidence, speaking without fear of mistakes; comprehension, understanding others and being understood; connection, building relationships through conversation. Here's a little secret: most people you talk to won't even notice your grammar mistakes. What they'll notice is your enthusiasm, your effort, and your willingness to communicate. Let's say you're at a restaurant and you want to order something. You could say, "I want chicken," or you could say, "Can I have chicken, please?" Even if you mix up the words a little, the waiter will understand you. And that's what matters most. Real-life example, a success story. I want to share a quick story about one of my students. Let's call her Sarah. When Sarah started learning English, she was obsessed with grammar. She wouldn't speak unless she was 100% sure her sentences were correct. But then, we changed her approach. We focused on speaking simple sentences, listening to English podcasts, and practicing daily conversations. Within 6 months, Sarah went from shy and hesitant to confident and fluent. She still makes small grammar mistakes, but guess what? She doesn't care. She's able to communicate clearly, and that's what really matters. Action steps for you. Now it's time for you to take action. Learning English doesn't happen by magic, it takes consistent effort and small, daily steps. Here are some practical things you can start doing right after this episode. Listen to English for 10 to 15 minutes every day. Find a podcast, TV show, or YouTube channel you enjoy. Don't worry if you don't understand everything, just focus on the main ideas and how words are used. Practice speaking for 5 minutes daily. Whether you're talking to yourself, recording a voice note, or practicing with a partner, make it a habit. Start with simple sentences like, "Today I'm going to work," and gradually add more details. Shadow native speakers. Pick a short sentence from a movie, show, or podcast. Listen carefully, then pause and repeat it out loud, mimicking the tone, rhythm, and pronunciation. Create your personal English notebook. Write down phrases, expressions, or new words you hear during the day. Instead of writing individual words, focus on complete phrases like, "I'd like to order," or "What's the plan for today?" Ask questions in English. If you're in an English-speaking environment or interacting online, practice asking simple questions. For example, "What time is it?" or "Where can I find this?" Questions are a great way to start conversations. Join an online conversation group. Many platforms like Zoom or Discord offer free English-speaking groups. Look for a beginner-friendly group and participate actively, even if you're nervous at first. Turn your daily tasks into English practice. For example, write your grocery list in English. Narrate what you're doing while cooking or cleaning, like, "I'm washing the dishes now." Watch recipe videos in English and follow the instructions. Sing your favorite English songs. Karaoke is a fantastic way to practice pronunciation and rhythm while having fun. Choose a song you love, look up the lyrics, and sing along. Play language games or apps. Use apps like Duolingo, Babbel, or Quizlet to make learning fun. Even games like Scrabble or crosswords can improve your vocabulary and sentence building skills. Set specific goals for speaking. For example, this week, I'll learn how to introduce myself in English. I'll practice ordering food in English at a restaurant. By the end of the month, I want to hold a 3-minute conversation in English without stopping. Watch English videos with subtitles. Start with subtitles in your native language, then switch to English subtitles. Finally, try watching without subtitles to test your understanding. Practice using one new word every day. Choose a word or phrase that's useful for your daily life. Use it in at least 3 sentences during the day. For example, if the word is delicious, you can say, "This meal is delicious," or "The cake looks delicious." Find a speaking buddy. This could be a friend, family member, or someone online. Agree to have short conversations in English every week. Reflect on your progress. At the end of each week, ask yourself, What new words or phrases did I learn? What felt challenging? How can I improve next week? Reward yourself for progress. Learning a language is hard work, so celebrate your achievements. For example, if you speak English for 10 minutes without stopping, treat yourself to something you enjoy, like a favorite snack or a relaxing break. To wrap up, remember this: fluency isn't about being perfect. It's about being confident, clear, and connected. Focus on communication, not perfection. And trust me, your English will improve faster than you think. Thank you for listening to Speak English with Abdulhak. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends and subscribe for more tips and inspiration. And remember, every time you speak English, you're making progress. So, keep going and never give up. Until next time, take care, stay motivated, and keep speaking English.